All right, folks, as I said before the break, with me now is industry professional at the Grady College of Journalism at the University of Georgia, Mr. Richard Griffiths, an assistant lecturer at the University of Technology, Ms. Anissa White, who is here to tell us about the University of Technology's annual final year exhibition for the Communication Arts and Technology Forum. Whew, a mouthful, I'm tired. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Welcome, sir, and welcome to Jamaica.
Thank you.
This is the first time.
First time for me here.
When did you get in?
Last night. So I've basically had enough daylight to see the drive from the hotel to here. So I'm looking forward. The mountains look really beautiful.
So you haven't had any Jamaican food yet or anything? Like
no, just a banana at breakfast.
A banana? What have you heard about with our food?
Well, the jerk chicken is supposed to be out.
Yes. We have African saltfish. We have rondo.
Very
good. Yeah, bully beans.
Everything is in. I'm hoping that you will give me a list of all the things I should.
We sure will.
Normally they would say ladies before gentlemen, but pride of place goes to the visitor this morning, sir. And let me get something out of the way. I'm not even certain it's connected to what you're here for. President Trump has given the press in the United States in a very serious way a hard time, to the point that some people don't want to believe anything you guys say again. Is that part of press freedom in a sense?
I think it is. You know, the journalism industry is under a lot of stress right now. There's the technology issues of sweeping change with the internet. There's the fake news that sort of came out of the former Soviet states, and from people who want to make a little profit and make a little mischief elsewhere. And then you have the accusations of fake news when somebody doesn't like something. On top of that, I think journalists have compounded the problems by not being transparent about our mistakes. I worked for 26 years at CNN, and almost 26 years at CNN, and before that at CBS News. And we took great pride in making sure that our reporting was right and good, and that when we made a mistake, we were public about cleaning it up. I'm not sure that's been an industry standard that perhaps we should follow. And I also think that increasingly people are now confused between commentary and opinion and journalism and where the boundaries are. And
where are the boundaries?
Well, I think that depends on the story and on the reporting. Certainly you have to provide context if you're doing a story. So the question is, how far does that context go into opinion about an event?
I want to bring up, it's World Press Freedom Day today.
Yes.
And Jamaica has moved up the ranks on the Press Borders for Freedom World Index of being one of the countries that has the best freedom for press, and we are number 8. So I want to congratulate ourselves.
Outstanding.
Yes, but it's funny, America is not in the top 10. And that's an interesting thing I want to talk about here with freedom of press and freedom for journalists. We know that over 700 or so journalists have been killed, I don't think, over the past, a couple of years or so?
Globally, it has been an awful, awful thing.
What is press freedom when we're looking at countries?
Press freedom is, at its very core, the ability to report on events as they happen in a way that informs the public to be able to make smart decisions. If the public isn't able to make smart decisions, then the democracy, the society is undermined. And if you have good decision making by the public based on good information, then you have a strong society.
And we noticed, we never mentioned it off air, and the reason I brought it up is because we look to America as this global leader, but when it comes to press, as I said, not being recognized, of having really the freedom there, are there policies with Trump, for example, who can block you at any time?
Well, I don't think it's got to that point. There's a First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution which guarantees the right of the press.
Right.
And that is a core part of American democracy, something that I think is held in the highest esteem by everyone there. Yes, there are many challenges to reporting in the U.S., in terms of openness of government, of being able to get access to information, those are big challenges.
Right.
And then it's really a trust thing. And trust globally, if you look at the latest Edelman Trust Index, government is pretty dismal, about 41%, but I think the press is not far behind with about 43% trust in
Right.
and that's underwater.
Right,
It's not
right.
even the majority of people trusting the media.
Anissa, let me
Yes.
get
We
you
have to-
involved.
yes.
It's all right, I understand.
Apologies.
It's okay, it's
Mr.
okay.
Griffiths is here at your invitation.
Yes.
Why and what's going to happen?
So the Bachelor's in Communication Arts and Technology program, that's up at UTech. Yes, we do have a media training program.
Tell them again, girl.
Yes, UTech does have media training. Please come. So what's really happening is that our final year students, their exhibition is happening today, tomorrow, and Friday. And so we're really taking these couple of days to show the excellent standard of work that they're producing. Of course, it's in commemoration with World Press Freedom Day, and of course, we're blessed by the presence of Mr. Griffiths. So we really want, a lot of students coming out of high school to come out and look at what's happening. A lot of people from industry, there are students who are being well trained and they're producing good work. We know that we think that there's only one university that does media training, but come and find out what's happening at UTech.
UTech.
And I really want the students especially to know that there is more out there than just business, law, and medicine.
What areas are covered in media at UTech?
All right, so what really happens is that the students come in and they can select one of three concentrations between journalism, advertising, and public relations. But amongst the 4 years, they're also exposed to digital photography, digital audio, videography and editing, After Effects and as motion graphics. Then there's the PR side to it, voice and speech. So throughout the 4 years, the scope is wide, right? So when they come out, they're solid, right? Well-rounded media individual. So we want them to be able to be multi-skilled, to go out into the industry and say, well, I like writing, but guess what? I can take photographs. I can cover an event, I can write up a press release, so on and so forth. We don't want people who are just concentrated in that one particular skill, because they can't survive in this industry.
Degree programs?
Yes, it's a degree program over 4 years.
And you have a special theme talking about media education for justice.
Right,
That's a
media
focus.
education for justice, development, and social change. And so there is our launch is today at 12, right? And then the panel discussion, which will be this evening at 6 o'clock. Of course, Mr. Gary Allen will be on, Professor Monroe, Dr. Livingston White from UA, and Mr. Griffiths.
Mr. Griffiths, in a nutshell, what will you say?
I'm going to talk about the challenges to media and how, as an institution, we have to respond to those challenges, and how media education is absolutely critical, which is why I'm really excited to see what the students have today.
You've already mentioned the many years you've spent in our business. Have things changed a lot?
Oh, you bet.
Oh, yeah.
For the better?
In a lot of ways they are, because there are many more voices. There are many more opportunities to get information out, and I think the country is better served. The countries are better served with many more voices. But there's certainly a breakdown in trust, and that's one of the things that the media have to deal with.
Is it because there's so many voices that you can't sift through and find sometimes the truth or the credible source or the credible story?
There's certainly a lot of sources out there that are not credible.
Right.
If anybody has, it used to be the most valuable thing you had was your television studios or your printing press or your radio transmitter. Now it's trust.
Yeah.
The most valuable thing for a news organization is trust.
What about objectivity? Even in the United States, depending on who you listen to, the president is the best thing that ever happened to us. And you go across to another medium and you hear, it is interesting because even CNN, it seems like they keep bringing up the things that he said he would do and didn't do. So if he says, well, I said it.
Well, isn't that an important part of accountability journalism? One of the key tenets of journalism is you hold public officials accountable for what they say, what they're going to do. So I think good journalists are doing that kind of work, but that's the thing that produces tension.
Yeah, doesn't it? Good to meet you, sir.
Very good to meet
Very
both of
good
you.
to meet you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. I hope you have a great
man.
time while you're here.
Thank
And
you.
I want to big up the president of the Press Association of Jamaica, Dion Jackson
Yes.
Miller,
Our
who is
colleague.
from our network, our colleague,
Oh,
on a
excellent.
day like today. So I want to just take that opportunity in great company to bring her
Right.
name in.
Industry professional at the Grady College of Journalism at the University of Georgia, Mr. Richard Griffiths, an assistant lecturer at the University of Technology, Miss Anissa White, and final year exhibition for the Communication
Yes.
Arts and Technology
Yes.
program, and that starts off today. Is that just an in-house thing, or can
We think I was going to ask the same
we
thing.
think alike?
Yes,
Oh,
No,
no.
it's open to the public. And then we're heading to the Western Campus on Friday.
There's a costume?
Right. No, of course not.
Turn
No,
up. And the Western
turn out.
Campus is in 2 days from now.
Yes, it's on Friday. Mr. Griffiths will be there as
And
well.
he'll
So
be
I want
there as
everybody to come out, check it out, man. We have some
Come on
exciting
out.
stuff going on,
We
man.
think alike?
We do. And if you're looking for a job, you tech grads,
I am dead.
send
Sir?
us your resume to Television Jamaica, whatever the email address is. Go on the website, televisionjamaica.com. Coming up after the break, we speak to UDC about the new plans for the parliamentary building. And talking about that, you know, we have the official, we've got Secrets Act and all kind of things that people want to be repealed. But we'll hear what's going on and more. I can't be calm. I'm having a baby. I'm excited.